Good morning and welcome back to Footsteps and Tire Tracks. And if you've been watching our other video where we're travelling up to Camper Jam, you'll know that we've been having a few problems with the water pump on the van. Well, what's happening, I'm going to just take you through and turn on the tap. You can see it's a little bit like spurty there. And it comes out. And then listen to that noise. That's that pump down there.
We're Mark and V, and this is our adventures.
So we've ordered up a new part. You can see that I've switched the water off and it just continues. We had times yesterday when it was just not shutting off. It's not looking good now either, is it? So we've ordered a new part and had it delivered. It came here late last night. That's really not going to stop. That's quite poor, isn't it? Right, finally shut off. Now, I'm absolutely positive that's not the way it's meant to work, and it didn't work like that before. So we've ordered up a new part. So I'm going to show you how to install it, and hopefully by the time we've finished, it will be good. And it'll be nice and silent, and we'll have good water pressure with no spurting. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to get on with it. We've taken the seat covers off, and the first thing to do is literally get in there. Looking at it, it looks like a connection there, connection over there, some electrical connections to sort out, and that should be it. And it needs to be unbolted down there by the looks of it. So, it's probably not going to be the easiest thing to do, because I ain't got very good tools with me. That's all rusted as well, look. But we'll get it done. So the first thing I've got to do is, there are 4 screws down here, 4 bolts, and they appear to be hand tight. So not done up very tightly at all. So I'm just going to undo them to make sure I can get at everything. That's one out. There's a washer on each one as well. It's quite fiddly. But there you are. It's a bolt. And that is 8mm? Yeah, it's 8mm. So we'll put them safe. Last thing we want to do is lose anything while we're in. Yeah, the second one I can undo with my fingers as well. So we'll get them out. And we'll just, before we do anything else, we'll just take the new pump out and just compare it and just make absolutely 100% sure it's the same. But do you know what? I think this is going to be quite a simple task. It's not looking that difficult. Famous last words, isn't it? You never know. Right, I'm just going to take these out and I'll come back to you very shortly. Okay, so let's just compare the 2 pumps before we go any further, so you can see that they look almost identical. 2 wires to connect. That's the 2 wires. It's red and blue there, red and black there. Yeah, that's just a manufacturing thing. That's nothing to worry about. We got slightly different connections coming in, so you can see there we got an elbow there. Hopefully you can see that. Just bring it down. You got an elbow there. Now if we look in the box, we actually have an elbow there that comes with it. So that will go on that side. And on this side, there is, well, it looks like another elbow actually. So hopefully we've got another elbow, and we don't. So we don't have 2 elbows. So we're going to have to use one of the original ones. So we're going to have to be a bit careful with that. So what we'll do is we'll disconnect the elbows off the pump, I think, and see how we get on, and clean them, and hopefully we can reuse one if not both. But we do have spare here Well, we have one spare if we need it. I mean, let's face it, they're not broken, I don't think, but we'll just examine them just to make sure. Right, so I'm just going to undo them very carefully now. Just fiddly now, really, rather than difficult. Finger tight, so that one's come undone quite easily. I do expect a little bit of spillage. Yeah, we might be lucky, but if you're prepared for it, it's not going to shock you, is it? So that's that one. Is it off? Nearly off. I think that's off. Yep, he's off, and there's a little bit of water there coming out. Not a lot. Just put a cloth in there, just mop it up. So we do have some electrics down here as well, so don't water going everywhere. So that's that one off. That one's too difficult. That was all finger tight. Now we just got this one on this side. And we can manoeuvre him a little bit easier now. And these finger tight as well. So I'll take that one off as well. And there's a little bit of water, bit more water coming out of this one. So we'll just put a cloth underneath him to soak him up. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's pumping out quite quickly. Right, we need to work out what we can do there. It's going to be one of these tea towels, I'm afraid. There's nothing else for it. Does seem to be under a lot of pressure here. Right, you're watching me as I'm doing this, and I'm thinking, why did I start doing this in this situation? But you've got to do it, innit? Do I have to drain the tank? I think I might have to drain the tank, which is annoying because I'm going to have to... Yeah, we're going to have to drain the tank, I think, which isn't the best thing. But we'll drain the tank, and then we'll just have to fill it up. And I'm going to have to fill it up manually because we're nowhere near a pump, or a tap, I should say. We're nowhere near a tap, so not the best thing to happen, but it's better than having too much water everywhere, isn't it? Just do that one back up a minute. Right, I'm going to drain the tank. I'll come back to you in a little while once this bit of a disaster's averted. Right, this is quite wet. I've drained the tank and I've just had this sudden brainwave, a bit late I suppose. Let's drain the taps. There's water in the system still, isn't there? So we'll get the tap drained. Pretty much drained it out. You can see it's not stopping at all, really. This would have been a much easier job to do at home. Well, so we get on here. That's how it is leaking, so stick it on a minute. I don't think it's going to switch itself off anymore. So we're going to switch off the power. So I've just switched off at the main fuse because I think that's just going to carry on going now. That's part of the problem I think there was with the pump in the first place. So we've got quite a lot of water down here, so I'm just going to mop up as much as I can before I attempt to take that cable off, or that pipe off again. Just being prepared. It wouldn't be so bad if you could sort of have something to catch that water in, and maybe with a bit more planning it would be easier. But we'll get there. So let's attempt it again. See if there's any pressure there now. That's looking better, isn't it? I think we're going to have a bit of water. Oh no, no, it's still coming out. Look at that. Right, I think we're just going to have to run the tap until it just doesn't spurt anything. That's so frustrating. Right, I'll come back. Okay, so there's a lesson to be learnt there. Drain the tank, drain the water from your taps and your heating system. And there we are. We finally are in a position where we can remove the pump. Now, maybe I should have had a look and seen how to do it, but you know what we blokes are like. So there you are, that's a pump out of position. I can clean all that up in there now. There's a bit of gunk in there and muck, but we'll get that cleaned up. And then we'll get the new pump in. There's still leaking water there. Oh. 1 minute you think you've done it and it's trickling again. Luckily, we're going to be okay. We'll just clean that up and then we'll go from there. We'll come back in a little while. I'm just going to clean this up. You don't need to see that. Remove this pump. I'm going to show you how I'm going to disconnect the wires and everything, and we'll connect the new one in. And hopefully we'll be good to go then. Then it's got to fill the tank up, haven't I? So I'm going to walk all the way across. We're in a field, remember, so I'm going to have to walk all the way across the field with a little jerry can and fill it up. I reckon that's going to take about 8, maybe 10 trips. Joy. Well, I think we finally stopped the water coming out. So it is dripping a little tiny bit, so I've got a cup in there just holding the drip. Now the next thing is to disconnect the electrics, and I don't know if you can see this. This has got quite a lot of rust on it, and I've tried unscrewing it and it won't unscrew. So I'm literally just going to chop it out. I'll chop it out on this side off. No, I'll have to chop it on that side actually. And we'll just connect the new one in. So we'll just prepare the wires. Make sure you've turned the power off at this point in time because you've got wet hat. It's not going to be very much, it's 12 volt, but you know, just be safe. So if you turn around, power's off at the main fuse box. So there's no power coming to this at the moment. We're now going to chop that out and then we will start installing the new pump. I'll show you the new pump. There's the new pump. What I did buy, because I knew there was potential problems, is I bought some connectors. Just because, I mean, you should carry some of these in your van really, and these will stay in the van now just in case. But I just had this feeling there would be a problem somewhere along the lines. So, you know, justified. So we're just going to cut these out. So I'm just going to chop these out here. Completely remove the pump out of the scenario. Then we'll end them. Put some of these on. I will take the pump home and strip it and have a look and just see if there's anything that can be repaired on it, because you just never know with these things. So just chop two of these out. You know, and it might be that it was a dirty bearing. You know, screws come loose inside the impeller, or so I don't know. So if we have a look at it and think, oh yeah, we can repair that, it's worthy to have a spare. It might not be you who needs it. It might be someone else who you're camping with, you know, who you meet along a road. And sometimes just having these little spares that don't take up too much room can be good. And you know, help out your fellow traveller, camper vanner, motorhomer, whatever. It's good to be nice. Right, so let's see if we can end this with these, or if I've got some proper ones somewhere. Oh, yeah, I can see them. They're not the best. I'm seriously thinking about putting together some sort of essential toolkit, and maybe that should be a video as well. It won't be while I'm, well, like I say, we're off to Indonesia in literally 10 days, so I don't know if I'll have time to put an essential toolkit together. But I think, you know, I'm starting to realise what could be essential, you know, a little socket set, some spanners, probably a little hammer, tape, some wire, some connectors. Anything else you can think of that should be essential. You know, if you can and you're watching this, like, please tell me down below what you think is possibly an essential part of a toolkit. Because I'm going to do it. And if there's any manufacturers out there who'd like to supply an essential toolkit, please do. And I'll use your tools as the video. You know, if you really would like to do that, you know, I don't know. I don't care who you are. Just if you want to offer your services, maybe even like be as nice to offer a set for a viewer as well, which would be even better. We've ended them, and I've put down that one. I just need a little screwdriver now. So you start realising, you know, oh, I need a little screwdriver, I need this. I've been quite lucky in a lot of the stuff I've brought with me is the right stuff I've needed. I've had to go and borrow a socket set. That's why I'm saying a socket set would be handy. I did have a little screwdriver here yesterday. There, I found a screwdriver. And these are quite handy, these little connectors. You can get the push ones now. I don't know if you've seen them.
I've got some at home. They might be handy to keep a couple in the van as well. But so you don't need a screwdriver to do it, but this is easy enough, isn't it? Just make sure everything's nicely done up. And when you're doing this, be very, you see me holding it this, I guess, be very careful if you're doing it like that. I've slipped a couple of times being a bit, you know, too sort of cocky with what I'm doing and shoved it in my hand or shoved it in my finger. You can see a scar there. There's the other week where I shoved something in my finger. You know, your skin doesn't stand up very well to metal when it's in the form of a screwdriver or something sharp. Well, I think the next thing is, we'll leave that over there, that's all ready to be connected. And that'll be connected to these two wires here on the pump. But what we'll do now is I think we're going to have to take out the water, dry everything up as much as possible. So it is still dripping, unbelievably. So just dry it up underneath there as much as possible we can. Look at that, that's leaking still. I don't believe that, it's absolutely pouring it again. So we'll hold that one up a bit. Dry up underneath again. I'm actually hearing water dripping down, so maybe holding it higher has been a good thing. Nope. It'd be good to have a little tap, an inline tap here for a quick change. No, obviously we're not going to do it because we ain't got the bits to do it with. But you know, if you've got a camper van or something and you've got one of these pumps, maybe it's something you want to think about, you know. Mind you, how often do these pumps go? Not that often. But then, if I think about it, the last van had a pump go. That was on the, we noticed that on the toilet. There was a pump on for the water side of the toilet. It was a Thetford toilet, and the pump went on that. So yeah, they do go on a regular basis, I suppose. So I'm just talking a load of rubbish at the moment, aren't I, guys? Just while I'm doing this, and I'm not sure if you've got to prime these or anything, but what we will have to do is before we put the power on, we'll have to put water back in the tank. So make sure that's all done before we do anything too major and ruin it. So you see there, I'm just screwing that one back on, and he'll be right like that. Doing finger tight, and then we'll just use a adjustable just to nip him. Remember, it's plastic, so don't go like trying to do him up like your wheel nuts, because you'll find it a crack, and that's not good where water's concerned, is it? Right, now we've got to try to squeeze that in down through. I'm sure it'll come out easier than it went in. He's going very gently. God, he's tight. Oh, there he is. Right, he's in. He'll sit somewhere there. So then we just bring that other on it. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, let's bring that camera around a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing. And I'll work around the camera, which isn't the easiest, but I'll do it for you guys, won't I? So hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. So I'm just nipping that one up. So again, getting finger tight, but then we'll just come in with an adjustable spanner and just nip them up a little tiny bit tighter. And the last thing we'll be doing is we've got these wires that we need to connect. So I noticed last time the wires were underneath and they got wet and they rusted. You saw that, didn't you? So the idea is I'm gonna, like I was saying, this got wet and rusty last time because it was laying on the bottom. I'm gonna bring it over this pipe and connect it there, so it'll literally stay up in the air. At least it's not going to get wet and rusty there. We've got that one nipped up, that one nipped up. Just got to tighten them, and then we're going to put the screws back in and do them all up. So we're almost there. Doing well. So next thing is match them up. So like I say, it's blue, and it was black, but it does go in with the black. So don't panic about that because of the colour change. Well, I do panic about those. I keep on putting screwdrivers there and I can't find him. There he is, he's behind me. So connect that one up, put him in there. Just make sure you can see me on the camera. Right, that's that one. Where's the other one gone? There he is. And red to red, obviously. Now these things aren't difficult, and if you're unsure, you know, it's the first time you've done it, just take your time. You know, does it matter if it takes you all day to do something that somebody else says, oh, I can do it in an hour? I don't think so. It's about doing it yourself. A sense of satisfaction as well. You know, everybody, all of us start not knowing what we're doing. Sometimes I still don't. So now we're going to line him up over the bolt hose, hopefully, and then we're going to just line. I think we'll line there. They look lined up, and see if we can't come in very carefully with the socket. A bolt and a washer already preloaded. And when I say a bolt and a washer already preloaded, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. There, that. So you've got your bolt with your washer, and it's connected. Now I'll get these in and I'll come back. Okay, so we've got everything screwed in now, and like I said to you earlier, these, just gonna make sure you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can see these two connectors here. I'm just gonna nip them up, and honestly, this is not trying to, you know, torque it up like you're doing a wheel nut. This is just a little bit more of a finger tight, like you can see. Just do it very gently. Just pull that wire out the way so it's a bit easier to get to. You know, that's me thumb pulling it, no more. And that's it. Just so it's a little bit more of a finger tight. It's plastic we're tightening up here, it's not metal. And just want to make sure we don't get any leaks. Might have to come up underneath. Yeah. There it is. The same again, just very gently. You sort of, when you've done this a bit, you'll know how it feels. there's probably a torque setting if you looked really, really hard to do it, but it won't be very high. And honestly, just above your fingers strength. I don't know, that's just grown. And there he is, that's tightened up. So all the electrics are now connected up. We've let's come around here a minute so you can see. So we got that one connected up. It's all bolted in. We've got 2 connections. I've turned the water tap back off so it don't drain. So the last thing we want to be doing now is when we're filling the tank up, it to be draining away. So the next thing I've got to do is I've got to walk the field a few times to get some water. So that's what we'll do next. Well, that's 5 trips we've just done, and just fill up this last one. Oh. There's some air in the back end of it. Funnily enough, you never know when you're going to carry a water, fill up water some other way than a hose. So it's always handy to carry one of these water carriers around. Although this one does take up a lot of room, it's really good. But this is a Ridge Monkey. Just show you it there. That's a Ridge Monkey water carrier. But we're thinking of maybe trying to get some sort of roll-up version that would take more water and fit onto a little sack trolley. We've got a little sack trolley, and that might be an easier way of doing it, because I've just had a walk to the other side of the field. It's only because we're set up and I don't want to take everything down, That's the reason I'm walking across and not driven across to the tap. I'd have to take all, turn the seats around again, drop all the curtains, come off the chocks and everything. And I thought it'd just be quicker. Who knows? Anyway, right, so we've done that. Got a little bit drying up there to do yet. So we'll get that done, I think. But we'll make sure taps are turned off. Alright, so taps are turned off. Is it like that, or is it like that? Tap is turned on, turned off. So taps are turned off. Heating is off, as you can see. So the water heater is off, and it's reading 100 litres. So 12-volt power is still off at the moment. We'll just dry it all up, and then I'll put the power back on. Okay, so we're all dried up. Pump's installed, taps are off. So the first thing we do is switch on the power. With the pump priming itself. Tap was on. And tap was on. I dare say there's a fair amount of water got to go through the system again. Okay, so now I'm hoping the water's primed. So there might be some spluttering initially. Okay, so the pump's still relatively noisy, isn't it? Disappointed, but the power seems better. Oh. Yeah, power definitely seems better. So we'll turn on the heating again. That'll kick in, and we'll put it all back together. I will admit I'm a little bit disappointed how noisy it is. I thought it was going to be a lot quieter. That pump there, the old one, there might not be a lot wrong with it in that case. That's just cost me £110 as well. But it did fail earlier on in the week. It just continued going on and on and on. It didn't stop. So I think it needs stripping down, having a look at it anyway. So I think we just got to accept that these pumps are noisy. We'll put everything back together, and maybe it'll be a little bit quieter once it's underneath the seat and the cushion and everything, a bit of soundproofing. We'll see. Fingers crossed anyway. So I'll put it all back together and we'll try one last time. Well, there we are. It's all done and everything's back. And I've not tried the tap yet, so I'm going to try it now. And you can listen with me and see just how noisy it actually is. What do I think? I think it's quieter. The pressure's definitely better. So that's a bonus. Obviously the shower's going to be better as well. So all in all, I think it was a worthy upgrade. Replacement, I suppose, really. It's not an upgrade, isn't it? So there you are, all done. So if it was useful to you, if it saved you buying one because you think yours is noisy, give us a thumbs up. And if you found the video at all interesting and you want to see more stuff that we're doing, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video, guys, which is actually happening at the moment because we're in the middle of a journey to Camper Jam. We've been 10 days so far, we've been 7 days so far. Went up through North Wales and we're now in Shropshire, within this field in Shropshire, and tomorrow we're off to Camper Jam. So I'm not quite sure when this video is going to come out, whether the Camper Jam ones will already be out or not, but look after yourselves and we'll see you in the next video. See you later. Bye.